This program is brought to you by presented by ACA Brace Production Marketing Incorporated in cooperation with PHILEXPORT, Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Exports continues to be a major growth driver of the country's economy. But with new and recurring issues facing our stakeholders, what short to long-term prospects are we looking at? In this episode, we talk with major stakeholders to get their insights and views on the matter.
Good evening, ma'am, and welcome to Business and Review.
Good evening, Lisa. I'm so delighted to be here with you.
Okay, where was the decline registered, ma'am, in terms of, let's say, markets or products?
Our top five markets, our net has grown, except for Japan, of course, our largest market, which is China, including Hong Kong, has increased by about 25%. And modestly, we have the U.S. increasing between 5 to 6%. Japan, however, has declined because one major export category, which is what you call builders, woodworks, has not been performing very well because the exporter therein has experienced a devastating fire. On the other hand, what is interesting is that we have a very robust domestic economy, and therefore a lot of our exporters are actually happy doing domestic trade, correct? So that's the story that I could see based on the numbers.
Okay, so baka maging comfortable na sila in the domestic market. Ma'am, problema natin to pull them back to export?
For this reason, we do have packages of assistance that we are providing the exporting community for. First of all, we have to improve the climate, the exporting climate, and that includes the ease of doing business. So by the climate, we mean that it should be easy to do business with government. Getting permits and licenses to do export would be one of them. Included in the climate would be the infrastructure development. This would be the physical connectivity, and that is the reason why we are in this infrastructure development and more popularly known as build. The other thing that we should be looking at in terms of motivating exporters to go that route is allow them to understand and take advantage of free trade agreements that we currently have on a regional level, that's ASEAN, and also on a bilateral arrangement. And of course, the last one would be assistance related to increasing demand, and that is where I believe the export sector and government should be collaborating with respect to coming up with a very targeted approach to trade missions and outbound expositions. This would be where the Export Marketing Bureau, as well as the Center for International Trade and Exposition and Missions would come in. That's CITEM.
And I'd like to go now to ASEAN. Of course, we have the free trade agreement, and then it's closed now. Logistics should be cheaper. But we have the same products, and we have problems on supply. So how is that being managed?
Where I see opportunity for us to increase trade, especially in export, is to be a partner with our ASEAN neighbors, because every nation have their strengths and weaknesses. Where we can combine strengths would probably be a synergy. Our approach to China is an investment-led trade mission. What do I mean? If we are able to motivate them to invest in the country, to build our manufacturing base, then it will result to a lot of production capacity, which eventually will increase the source of our raw materials, increase domestic manufacturing activities, provide jobs, and eventually this production will produce the products and services that we can export back to China. I think that we should look at also opportunities in other markets that we believe would be our growth areas. Just focus on a few things where they could put their bet on and grow in that area. Make a decision to offer goods and services based on the need of the market. If it doesn't sell, it's always good to pivot or to think of ways to make it more palatable to the buyers. Always concentrate on what is unique, what is a strong value proposition that customers will buy.
Okay, so thank you, Yusef.
Yeah.
Those are very useful, wise words.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay.
Business and Beyond will be back.
It is very tough for furniture export today, and very recently, hindi masyadong maganda. But everybody would always say that the local business is good. But what is important also is for us to be able to increase the business in export. We are very much worried because our competitive edge is so far. In terms of wood, we are approximately 60% more expensive. In terms of power, we are 350% more expensive. In terms of labor, we are 100% expensive. Today is very concerned on pricing. Palaging pinag-uusapan namin, mataas, paano mapababa. But the problem is still the concern of buyers, prices that should go down. Wala po yun sa kamay namin. It's all, the assistance of government that is needed to put all things together to be able to help exporters. Exporters cannot do it by themselves, but they need government to assist.
Ang one major concern of industries, whether big or small, is the lack of skilled manpower, especially po in the technical industries like construction. Sana po magkaroon tayo ng more technical vocational schools, and I think TESTA can also do this. And technical and entrepreneurship really go together kasi nasa panahon po tayo ng pagbabago na mabilis. I think this country is in for really greater heights with the Build program, which is heralding the growth of industries in the countryside and for inclusive growth. Kaya kailangan lang po mag-focus tayo sa toong pangangailangan ng ating mga industriya.
So across the board, we have a lot of challenges, but we are also facing a lot of opportunities. One of those issues that we're trying to tackle right now, how to reach the markets. There are so many opportunities. People are saying, and we are here hearing about the opportunities of using the internet, IT, all of these tools and platforms that have been available to us. As an association, though, we have to think of how to cascade this information. We need partners in the industry to help us do that. Our partners, like the Department of Trade and Industry, actually helps us gather people together so that we can cascade the information. But among ourselves, we don't really have the capacity to do everything that we want to do.
I mean, mentoring is just not a one-time thing. They have to be mentored. Tuloy-tuloy yan eh. Well, the AMIN program is moving. We're looking at 5 to 6 areas, countries basically, to adopt it this year and start a mentoring event. No? Each country has their own format, depending on what their needs are.
We're in this everything beautiful booth of Cebu Home Craft Incorporated Inc. and beside me is the sculptor and the owner. Please welcome James Doranlev. Hi James.
Hello.
Thank you for having us here.
Well, thank you for visiting.
Alright, please tell us the story behind all these beautiful sculptures and works of art.
Well, everything here, I try as a designer to use as much sustainable or second life material as possible. So I normally, when I go out to create a new product, that's probably foremost in my mind. Everything you see here is very organic and natural, and most of it is also second life. A lot of the pieces here are new concepts which I've developed especially for Manila Fame, and that's what I love doing. I love going out there and trying to create a new process or remodeling an old process in a new way.
Okay. What are the most popular products and designs from your collection?
Right now it has to be this process. I call it a process. Essentially, it's still long dead wood. So this wood has been dead for 60, 70 years plus. But in
Where do you get this?
Well, this is I buy locally down in Cebu, and it's.
So beautiful.
I really think it's the best wood in the world. It's very rich in tannins, and it's as I said, been dead a long time, and the grain swells are just exceptional. So with this piece, I've poured molten tin at a heat of about 350 degrees in all the cracks of the wood, and then sanded it through 8 different stages to make. These are the cracks, yeah.
How smart!
But the process is very difficult because you've got to, first of all, although it's long dead wood, you have to dry it. You have to make sure it's as dry as you can get it.
Right.
And then the 2 pieces of wood, you have to groove along the center of both pieces before you lock in that pewter or the tin. So it's very technical. It's been very challenging, but
That's why you're not scared to share it with me.
I'm not scared to share it with you at all.
Right.
And the people generally get drawn towards it because it's the contrast in between the very industrial mirror-like finish of the tin and the stainless steel legs mixed with the very organic wood.
How competitive are you in ASEAN considering there are so many furniture manufacturers in the region?
The important thing to do, and this is what I try to do for my 35 years involvement in making stuff, is to come out with something that you like to make that no one else makes. And it takes a long time to find that. It takes a lot of experimentation, and that makes it. I'm design-wise, I'm competitive. I mean, there's no way I can compete with cost because it gives me joy to pay the people who help me as much as possible. And if it becomes a price war, for me, I would prefer just to walk away and try and find something else.
Right. So if it becomes a price issue, then
Yeah, it's time to look, and I always look for new stuff. But for me, to my mind, the moment that someone says, "Oh, I can buy that a bit cheaper somewhere else," I check and see, and if someone else has caught up with me, I just, it's just a matter of focusing on another area which I can make my own again.
because I can imagine just the transport, the logistics cost
Yeah.
would be how much percent of the price already?
Well, you talk about the domestic market. Shipping locally is really expensive. It costs me about twice as much to ship one of these tables to Manila as it would do to ship to a client in Singapore, for example.
I've heard that story so many
Yeah.
times.
Visit the Manila Fame exhibition. I'm not sure whether there might be time before the viewing, but the next Manila Fame exhibit is in April, I think 3rd week of April next year. And my showroom is in Mandawi, at the foot of the Fernan Bridge. As you come over from Mactan, we're about a kilometre away from the foot. So visit our website, cebuhomecraft.com.ph, and feel free to give us a call and we'll get the showroom ready.
James is more a Visayan now than a British, right?
Yeah, I'm more
30
Visayan.
years in the Philippines.
Trenta Katuig sa Visayas.
Thank you, James.
Thank you, Lisa.
very
Thank you very much.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Business and Beyond will be back. Narito po tayo sa Lipa City, Batangas, kung saan naroon ang lumalaking grocery store na ito na pag-aari ni Mrs. Lea Dinglasan. Isa sa mga beneficiaries ng P3 program or Pondo sa Pagbabago at Pag-asenso na hatid ng SB Corporation at Department of Trade and Industry. Kukwentuhan niya po tayo kung paano lumaki at paano niya nakuha ang grocery store na ito. Kumusta na po, Miss Lea?
Medyo okay naman po ako, ma'am. Okay din yung mga anak ko kahit paano sa araw-araw. Patuloy yung buhay, ma'am.
Yun naman po talaga yung dapat. So, meron ka ng ganitong kalaking grocery store na galing sa loan from SB Corporation. Magkano nga yung loan?
Nag-loan po ako is 100,000, ma'am. Ayun yung initial na loan.
5 months na? 5 months. And yet, sabi mo, lumaki na itong grocery store na to. So, magkano na yung worth ng laman nitong store na to?
Siguro, ma'am, lagpas na siya ng 150.
Alam namin na nanggaling ito dahil sa parang assistance ng gobyerno pagkatapos na mamatay yung asawa mo sa Marawi siege ng isang taon. Dati ka na bang naghahanap buhay o dati ka na bang nagnenegosyo bago nangyari yon?
Sa loob lang ng bahay namin, kami nag-start ng tindahan. Siya para lang sa kapitbahay lang, ganun. Tapos, last March 2017 po, nag-decide yung husband ko na kuhanin yung pwesto dito sa may karsada para mas madami daw ang customer compare sa loob ng bahay. Siya po yung nag-start nito.
So, nakatayo na to bago siya namatay?
Opo, ma'am. Nag-start kami noon 20,000 ang capital namin. Opo. Kaunting-kaunti lang talaga siya. Hindi pa siya matatawag na sari-sari store noon. Kasi ibang items, wala. Kung ano lang yung mga basic, yun lang po yung tinda namin noon. Tapos after 2 months, nung matayo niya to, doon na po siya nawala. Ako na mismo manage dito. Para namamonitor ko din po kung ano yung lumalabas, kung ano yung pumapasok, tsaka kung ano yung wala sa tindahan. Para alam ko kung ano yung kailangan kong order.
Saan mo kaya i-attribute? Bakit lumaki ng ganun? Ang bilis 5 months lang and almost nag-double.
Hindi ako nagtataas ng sobra.
Ano bang pangarap mo sa grocery store na to?
Unang-una, ma'am, hindi talaga ako yung may pangarap. Ang may pangarap ko kasi nito yung husband ko. Sabi nga, gusto ko yung tindahan natin. Nagsimula tayo sa maliit. Gusto ko palalakihin natin. Tayo yung may malaking tindahan ngayon dito. Gusto niya, halos andito na lahat yung paninda. Kaya po siya din yung nagpangalan nitong store namin na A to C. Ibig sabihin, gusto niya from A to C, may mabibili. Opo. Pero siya po talaga yung nangangarap na magkaroon kami ng malaking tindahan. Opo. Ako, sinusuportahan ko po lahat ng sinasabi niya sa akin.
I'm sure proud siya sa'yo kasi napalago mo na nang wala siya. Pagbalik namin, naka-aircon na to siguro, no? And then, mas marami ng panindang makikita dito.
Opo, sana nga po, ma'am.
Congratulations and maraming salamat. Meron ka bang gustong pasalamatan?
Una-una, hindi po kami pinabayaan na nasa taas. Hindi rin po hindi kami pinabayaan ng asawa ko. Iniwan niya kami na hindi kami maghihirap. Na kaya kong itaguyod yung mga anak namin. Nagpapasalamat din po ako sa DTI at saka sa Small Business Corporation po. Kasi sila po yung nagbigay po sa amin ng chance na makahiram po ng pera para po idagdag sa aming puhunan po para po sa tindahan. At yung pong ipinihiram nila sa amin na yun, unang-una, wala po siyang interest. As long as mabayaran namin within 2 years. Sobrang pasalamat ko po.
Salamat din, and I'm sure lalaki pa to ng mas malaki dahil sa attitude.
Ako, thank you po.
Thank you. Business and Beyond will be back. Innovation, innovation, and innovation. This is today's business mantra and mandate if you want to be ahead of competition. And so we visited this innovation hub, and we have with us the Executive Director of QBO, Ms. Katrina Chan.
Hi, welcome to Kubo.
Thank you and welcome to Business and Beyond.
Let's come on in.
Welcome to Kubo. I mispronounced it as Cubo a while ago, but it's really Kubo.
Yes,
right?
it actually stands for the Bahay Kubo. We just put a twist on it with a Q.
And that's why we are here in this Bahay Kubo. Tell us the story behind this.
So basically, innovation is the name of the game. And nowadays, innovation and the largest, most successful tech companies, they're not just the incumbents anymore. Innovation can come from anywhere. And the idea really behind Kubo is that we would have this program for the Philippines that caters and supports tech startups. So when I talk about tech startups, you think about companies like, let's say, Grab or Airbnb, or even once upon a time, right, like Apple and Microsoft. These companies were started by 1 or 2 people in their garages. And when you think about Kubo, when you think about the Philippines, right, what is the garage for the Philippines if not the Bahay Kubo?
Bahay Kubo. All right.
Yes.
So what services and programs do you offer for them?
So basically, for all tech startups, we have a range of programs and services catering to if you're still very early stage, meaning you're still coming up with your idea. We have classes, we have workshops that really sort of help startups understand how they can go about starting their businesses. And for more advanced startups, once you're really ramping up and growing your company, right, then Kubo helps provide like a network that you can, for you to be able to connect with investors, access professional services like lawyers. And we're actually surprisingly in a government building as well. So we also help provide connections to the government that can help startups grow their businesses. Kubo is actually a public-private sector collaboration. So the services, the funding, the support for startups comes from both the government, meaning the Department of Science and Technology and the Department of Trade and Industry, and from the private sector, so institutions like Ideaspace and JP Morgan.
So this facility is like a co-working space?
It's a multi-purpose space, right? It's very flexible, but essentially for all of our startup members, they can actually co-work here or use the facilities if, let's say, they need to have meetings or just want to work on their products, right? So it's really something to help out our small tech companies, right? And they have coffee, internet, right? So they can get their businesses started.
And this is for free?
Yes, the co-working space is for free.
Good. That's the best part of it. But how do you become a member? You mentioned membership though.
So basically, all you really have to do is sign up. So you can go on www.kubo.com.ph, fill up a form, and you're able to sign up. Now, if you're a startup and you want to avail of our kind of more advanced services, and in particular our incubation program, then you actually have to go through a quick interview with some of our programs team, and that's really how we learn more about your business and figure out how we can best help your startup grow. I invite all of you to join the startup movement here in the Philippines and be one of the Filipino startups that change the world. So if you'd like to join, you can sign up at www.kubo.com.ph. You can also find us on social media and all the awesome channels by searching for @KuboPhilippines.
On this note, we end this week's episode. Join us again next week for our continuing discussions. Please feel free to send your comments and suggestions through our social media accounts. Remember, connections matter here at Business and Beyond.